Hello, everyone. It's Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo along with Benjamin Lesnick for another Bensday with Batgirl and Ben. Hi, Ben. How are you doing this week?
Hey, not too bad. We had a short week last week, so this kind of getting back to the normal swing of things this week. Feels like
Yeah.
it should be Thursday.
So, what is normal? I mean, I thought I was getting back to normal, but only I'm doing like school and work and the show, and normal is no time for anything. Is that about what it's like for you?
Pretty much, yeah. We found last week that if we shoot around the verse at 8 p.m., we actually have a lot more energy and we just gel better. So we tried that again this week, but it just plays chaos with your internal chronometer.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it does. You get things done when you can get them done. Is that essentially it for you guys?
Yeah.
All right. I know that when I was there back in February, most people would think that jobs are 9 to 5, but I was there long after 7 o'clock, and you guys were still trying to get out a monthly report back then. Is that normal?
For a Friday, for sure. It depends what we're doing. I mean, a lot of guys upstairs work a lot longer hours than we do, so I can't complain at all. But it depends on the needs of the project.
Yeah, I brought
But
that up to challenge somebody else's point of view that you guys don't really work that hard there.
oh yeah,
We'll, we'll leave that person's name
we just lay
blank.
around all day eating candy.
Yeah. So let's get on to some questions. I have a couple of them for you, but I think from what I'm reading over here, one or two of them might get answered by you in the meantime. So let's see
All
what we
right,
got here. So we're going to go to one of our favorite backers. It's Marcus from the Colonial Movers. And
he's
what
a
he
favorite.
wants, yeah, he is. And he's got a nice new Gladius for jumping up on stage. He wants to know recently our customers were complaining about delays when we send them their shipments. So we look at what and he's talking from the point of view of in game, he's in his persona. So recently our customers were complaining about delays when we send them our shipments. So when we looked at the problem, we discovered the subscriber flare calendar in the hangar was set to 2944.
Ah,
Okay, so what he's wanting to know is when are you going to have the subscriber flare hanger actually show the right date?
I had not even thought about that, but I will. I'll ping the folks at
That's behavior,
behavior
right?
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's awesome. And he pointed that out to me the other day, and I didn't know that's where this was going. But he's looking for this to actually be a real calendar that shows the date that we're on. So when you could walk up to that calendar, you could see what's going on. And for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, there's subscriber flare that's put out each month for people that either pay $10 or $20 a month that goes towards shows and other things that they do for the community over at CIG. We got a calendar and it's really cool. I'll put up an image of it somewhere in this video, hopefully while we're talking. Jump Debris wants to know, can you explain the intent of faction rep and how it will affect jobs we can get?
Action rep. Be good, good things happen to you. Be bad, bad things happen to you. Yeah, it's an age-old story. Yeah, I guess the idea is that you are most known by your individual reputation. So, if you growing up murdering people and breaking the law and so on and so on, that's the biggest barrier towards, say,
Okay.
positive good missions versus evil ones. But we were thinking also that the alliances you choose to have will also have some impact. If
Okay.
yeah, it's like real life when you're a member of the horror church that protests at funerals or something. Everybody knows you're a jerk, even if you aren't actually doing that.
Right. Now, there were a lot of different factions in some of Chris's old games, like Privateer, right? You could be.
Oh yeah, if you look at Privateer, you see there's. I guess the difference is you didn't kind of volunteer to ally with a faction like you do with Guilds and Star Citizen. Back then, you just had 5 or 6 different factions, and you could balance them in different ways. Uh,
Okay. I know that's one of the things that work in other games. And I'm wondering if that's what Jump Debris is doing here. I know that if you build up your faction enough with Federation, Imperial, or whatever the other faction inside of Elite Dangerous is, you can get some really cool ships. So he's looking to see is if there are any like really cool ships you can get from having really high faction.
Um, not specifically. I mean, it's not like Ford manufactures a special car. Like if you're a really good guy, you can get this car.
The Model T.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. Mustang GT. No, Model T. All right. Well, I didn't think that this game was going to be like that because primarily the game is about the UEE fighting the Vandul. There are pirates and everything out there, but I don't see many people taking the side of the Vandul in this, though I know Vandul Veronica is probably going to jump on me for this one. So.
No, but every organization is also a faction, and then you have Mercenaries Guild, Privateers Guild, Merchants Guild, the scientific. A million different subsets of humans will all be vying for your attention.
Are you guys uploading a major patch right now because your bandwidth is garbage?
No, I'm not sure. I just did the Windows 10 update, so maybe it's Windows 10.
Gotta love Windows 10. Too bad CryEngine doesn't work on Mac.
I haven't tried Star Citizen yet.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right, Pappy Boyington, who always has something to ask, is talking about the Endeavor this week. The Endeavor pictures in the vault depict landing pads. Do these retract into the ship or remain on top? Now, I think he's talking about one of the before you guys picked the actual model to go with.
Yeah, I will stress you're seeing a process that's leading to the current one. So the older stuff, you can't necessarily discern anything from it. Right now, we're imagining the landing as the front of the ship detaches and goes down into your hangar. The rest of it stays in orbit.
Okay.
But we haven't totally locked it down yet. We're a couple weeks off, so stay tuned.
Okay. So when you say it detaches, we're talking about like the Jedi Starfighter in 1, 2, and 3 of 2 and 3. We try to make believe 1 never existed, but in Star Wars, right? It's something like that.
Yeah, so if you look at the Endeavor, look at the most recent one, which is the one with the ring and it's the money shot one. If you look at the front part, there's a section that's sort of like a freelancer and kind of ends with 2 engines. We're thinking that is the cutoff. So that forward quarter of the ship is your armored exploration pod, and the rest of it is your scientific package.
Okay, we don't like Windows 10, by the way, because you are breaking up a lot. Second question about that, and it's going to be something I'm adding. When we were at Dragon Con, you mentioned the size of this front of the ship as being a certain percentage larger than a freelancer. When we look at it, it looks kind of like a freelancer. How much larger could we expect it to be than a standard freelancer?
It's a good bit larger. It's a multi-deck ship, so the whole thing is about the size of a Corvette. So it's much bigger than.
You
just
should never.
Freelancer stuck on the front. Yeah, don't say Corvette.
Yeah, don't mention Corvette. You're going to have a million questions next week if you mention that word again. He meant Chevy Corvette, and it's really fast. Okay, just so people don't ask us. Are there cryostasis pods in Star Citizen? These are all from Pappy.
Not in the game itself. I think there may be in the kind of human historical lore, but. We don't have that kind of freeze humans that move from place to place thing.
Okay, we're gonna jump to Charles Bro. As has been said before, the MIS Endeavor will have roughly 12 different modules for different scientific roles. I own a Carrack, and I would like to also do the same science along with exploration. Would it be possible for me to use some of the Endeavor modules on the Carrack?
No.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, right? Because we're also crafting brands of ships and designs of ships, right?
Yeah, they're just totally different ships. So they're not internal modules like the Retaliator. They're huge external sections of the ships. It would be like, hey, can I take the engine off a Bengal and put it on Cutlass?
Oh God. Yeah, right. And the engine on the Bengal is probably about 100 times bigger than a Cutlass, right? So he was ready for this. He would like, are there similar modules in case we can't move the ones from the Endeavor over? Would there be similar modules available for the Carrack?
No, the idea is never to have every ship be able to do every role, and especially the Carrack is very specifically an explorer, which we are distinguishing from a science ship pretty clearly. The Carrack is traveling through different jump points and exploring strange new worlds and able to fend off aliens and sustain a crew for months off in the unknown. The Endeavor is very much this slow, plodding. Here's this huge platform for all these very specific, technical, careful things. It's kind of the difference between, say, like an ambulance versus a hospital. You're never going to have all the. You're never going to put your MRI machine or your operating theater or whatever in the ambulance. They're related, but not one and the same.
See, I would have said a MASH unit versus a hospital, but that's pretty cool. I like that. So we're going to jump to Krell, who says, for a given module for the constellation, will there be variance in how that module functions, or variations, depending on which variant is installed? For example, if you have a command and control module installed on Aquila, will it get better data due to the better quality sensors of that variant? Okay, do you know what he's saying?
I think so, but I think he's not looking at the modules the way we are.
Yeah. He's looking at the like you look at the modules as being self-sufficient. I put this on it and it works. What he's looking at is that this ship already has all this stuff on it. If I add this module, will be better for that.
Well, he's absolutely right to some degree. If you have a ship with more advanced sensors or more drive space for them or something like that, then absolutely it will be better at whatever task the module is focused for. I don't think it's a pure min-max RPG scenario where you calculate it all right now, but definitely that is the intent.
As director of ships, do you ever feel like people are asking for too much to be done by one ship and don't get that there has to be a diversity of ships? That's from me.
Yes.
No one
yeah,
else.
That's absolutely a constant.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody wants their ship to be the best one that does everything, and our job is sadly to not let that happen.
I don't find that sad. I would find it sad if I was flying around in the Star Citizen universe and every ship could do everything. I like the way that you guys are going about it, to have each ship being within its own mission, but still be able to do some things from other missions. And I hope people get that eventually. I think for the most part, most people get that, right?
For sure.
Okay. I'm sorry. Every time I read these, I don't mean to pick on anyone. Please, people, don't think I'm picking on you. It's that we get a lot of questions like this, and really, there's got to be a diversity of ships, or it's going to be a boring universe.
That never works, by the way. They will still think you're picking on them.
Yeah, they're going to pick on me, right? I'm going to be on Reddit tomorrow as this bitch. No, sorry. Graham Gerling, Gerl. Yeah, Gerling. Can you? All right. So he wants you to comment on the process behind having the Aegis Dynamics, a military manufacturer, making role-specific ships, building ships with a modularity in mind that can fulfill multiple roles. For example, the Tally, the Vanguard, the Redeemer, Avenger modules. I think what he doesn't see is that all ships are going to have this modularity, right? What he wants to know is, while Drake Interplanetary, a civilian manufacturer who makes more generalistic ships, are... Okay, so let's get to the meat and potatoes of this question. He wants to know, will all manufacturers, and that's what it looks like, will all manufacturers be building these modular ships, or is it Aegis Dynamics that are going to be these ships that are just mostly modular?
Different ships work different ways. So you mentioned Drake. Drake loves to have some more modular type interiors for the different cutlasses.
Right. I think he didn't see that yet. Like, he probably didn't see that post of how the Cutlass is going to be a very modular ship, right?
Yeah, but like the Constellation and does not have, you buy a module and it changes everything. It's much more individual parts you change out.
Really? Well, we go for variance with the Constellation because it's
Yep.
actual structural differences, right?
Yeah. So
Different cockpit, different, yeah. Okay. I like that because I like that you even have the diversity in the different ships themselves. But Drake and Aegis Dynamics both have very modular ships. I just don't think because we're still early in the development that we're able to see those things with the Cutlass, right?
yeah, you'll see some more of the Cutlass soon.
All right, cool. Soon, like tomorrow, you know, we're going to get that question.
Tomorrow.
Okay. Sam Ojeda wants to know, with Sujikasi running for the UEE Senate, what do the Tavarian look like? Tavarin, sorry.
We are figuring that out right now as part of the development of the Prowler. I can't say
Okay.
yet, but it's in the works.
Okay. You know that was going to come because we know what the Banu look like. We know, well, we do know what the Banu look like, right? We can go off of the images that are already in there.
Yep, there'll be some updates, but you get the general idea.
Okay. So, not yet, but we'll know. Andrew Jennings, currently in Star Citizen, we have racing and combat. I'm curious if we could see a mixture of the. Oh, wow. Okay, so maybe I should read these. Did you ever watch Stargate 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the race with Sam? Amanda Tapping? She was in
Yes.
the. Okay. So I do because I went to the track that had one of the guys from that episode who was actually the doctor on SGU. He wants to know when can we see something like this? This is something that's going to be in Star Citizen, correct?
Yeah. I can't say when, but down the road a bit.
What's your idea? Since I mean, I know that you're a ship. You know, you're in charge of ship design. What do you envision so we could help this question along as a ship and a race type that would be part of that universe?
I would just direct everybody to our original jump point about the Murray Cup and all the different legs and stuff. I think that's probably as close as you'll get to an answer right now.
So we can't have Death Race Star Citizen.
Oh, that's in there. We have that in the
Okay.
spec. We have the. In fact, I think it's specifically in the design doc we put out on racing about how there's armed races.
Yep. Okay. I was hoping you'd go to that part. That's why I was trying to lead you into that.
I will say I don't see ships manufactured specifically for that purpose. Nobody's making a, the Ford Taurus that you murder people with. They're just taking their existing car and figuring out how to murder people.
Think the
maybe
Reavers
that's
and
something.
Firefly, right? You know, putting ships together from different parts to do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's pretty cool how you got all glowy there for a second. Oh, Jared was walking by the light. All right, so we're down to our last couple, and I think I'm going to ask you this one. How important is support for handicapped players to CIG? For example, when can we expect to see larger size text options for visually challenged people in the social module? I say this because I'm 50 and I can't read anything.
Well, I am half blind myself, so it's very important.
Yeah.
But it's something that comes towards the end of the project rather than right in the middle. Because
Optimization.
you take the sum of everything. You say here's everything we need to do, and here's how long it'll take to do it. At this point, it would be if we did it today, we'd be doing it again in a month, and in a month, and in a month, and in a month.
So I could assume support for colorblind people and stuff like that would be in there.
That's all a concern.
Okay.
We want to address.
All right, and definitely for old people like me. Sorry, Ben, I cut you off like 3 times there.
No, that's all right.
I'm sorry. I don't do that when we're live, when we're in person, you know? It's the video stopped moving and I think you stopped talking. All right, so let's go to the last 2 questions. Elfwin, who thank you very much for being a supporter from early on in Star Citizen AA. During the initial 1-month campaign, to what extent were the stretch goals up towards 6 million planned ahead of start? Did you wing it, or from 3 million onward, or was there a roadmap planned ahead already for the ultimate goal?
There was a roadmap for where we wanted to go with the project. The specific stretch goals we had to kind of work out as we were going. So I don't know if anybody remembers the first 24-hour live stream, but I was we went in knowing, okay, you're going to unlock the star system, you unlock the star system, you unlock the star system, but we did not have the specific star system planned out. So I was writing them in real time as we broadcast. We had a pretty good idea. Hey, if we had this much money, we could do this. If we have this much money, we could do this. But a lot of the specific wordsmithing and kind of boiling it down to a stretch goal came later.
Yeah, I think if people go back and watch my interview with Sandy, they'll see her talk about like certain things that you threw out there, like the constellation that actually pushed you over, right?
Yeah, we didn't know we would have the constellation art in time. We got the cut list from Jim Martin right at the last minute. It was very cool that last 24 hours.
Right.
We got the station mock-up where we showed what it would be like to walk around, the previs. It was really like the project was coming together right there in front of us. It was very cool. First time I experienced that.
Okay. I'm so looking forward to like all the things coming into fruition, because I might not have been part of backing the project from day one, but I definitely see all the things starting to come together from all those initial stretch goals. It's pretty awesome. Last one from Vengeful. Will subscriber flare be available for purchase in-game with in-game credits? Is that for Sandy?
No, that will happen. Once the game actually launches, all that stuff will be out there.
Okay.
A lot of it may be sold by subscribers who have extras. But we don't intend to keep anything from folks.
Okay. I will be giving away lots of extra stuff on the next few shows as soon as Ben catches up with giving away starter packages.
Sorry about that.
No, don't be sorry. You guys are busy, so nobody holds you accountable to that right now. So with that last one, with the subscriber flare, this is a question for the future, and it's not for now. So don't answer this question with what's around today. Right now, with all the subscriber flare, some of us that pay monthly, we're starting to look like hoarders. Especially if you like to use the asteroid hanger. What do you envision as being a place for some of this Star Citizen memorabilia, virtual memorabilia, to be in our hangar? Will we have like a museum room, or will we have a trophy room?
Yeah, like a trophy room or a den we've looked at doing. It should be something that it makes sense to have in your hangar, but we do want to kind of do housing facilities in there as we get closer. So
right.
You'd be your
that's distant, right?
Man/woman cave. That's
man/woman cave. But that's distant future, right? We're asking about this today, but that's not until after things are fleshed out for the game, correct?
Well, yeah, once we have a little bit more time to build out the hangars.
All right.
Come in as we get closer to the DU.
All right. We're starting to break up now, so that's all right. No, it's not you. It's just the network condition, and I think it has something to do with the world coming to an end outside over here in Georgia. And the last and final question, which is going to be a quick and painless one. You have CitizenCon coming up next month. Are you still doing your best not to look at anything from Squadron 42 so you don't get it ruined for you? Like...
Well, I've been involved in working out the cast announcements and all that stuff, and the timeline and all that. So I know who's in the game, and I a couple times, but I have pretty much avoided some story spoilers.
You shouldn't have said that, because the next question is going to be, can you confirm or deny this person being in the cast?
I can neither confirm nor deny that person being in the cast.
No, well, you can. You just won't, right?
I won't.
Okay.
I cannot keep my job.
Yeah, at this point, you won't do it, but you could at this point, because people are seeing things of people, of who was in the area at the time, like, Mark Hamill and other people, We all know that, who was it that played Rachel again?
Rachel was Ginger Lynn Allen.
And we know that she's not in it. That much we know.
I will confirm that.
Yeah, we can.
But she's a very nice person.
Of course. Well, yeah, that's great. Well, I'm going to let you go back to work. Thank you so much, Ben, for making the time for us every week. I really appreciate it, especially when you're working around my busy schedule, which is crazy these days.
No, I'm happy to do it. I'll go ahead and announce a minor thing here for the first time. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we're going to be doing a live stream. It is the 25th anniversary of the original Wing Commander. So we're going to come into the office and play
September
through it
30th.
live with commentary, if anybody wants to tune in.
I have to take next Saturday off now.
No,
That's
you
the
heard it here.
30th, right?
26th.
26th. Okay. Why do I think 30th? Was there two release dates? England and here? I don't know. I remember getting that day one. I remember having to go out just for people that don't understand Chris Roberts and you're sitting there cursing him because of the system you have to build today. Let's go back to the day of the 286, Ben, which was probably before your time, right?
No, I had a 280. My very first computer that was mine was a 286.
So Chris Roberts is single-handedly responsible for the 386 being a necessity. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. You know what? Even more than that, Creative Labs actually credits Chris for the Sound
Oh,
Blaster
gotcha.
becoming standard
Yes.
because of the speech in Wing Commander 2. You know,
Yep.
the way computers make sound today is tied directly to Wing Commander
Okay.
series.
So, Ben, how many discs did it take to install the speech for Wing Commander 2?
Wing
Do you
Commander 2
remember?
was two additional discs for the speech, I believe.
Oh, God. And people, and you don't understand that, right? Because two additional discs would take a long time to load because load times were incredibly slow back then. So, for you to install the speech after installing the game, it was like another 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, or more than that, even.
Yeah, and you were like sitting on the edge of your seat. Thank you for bringing that back to us. So how are we going to see this again? You're going to have it on the front page and the
So yeah, we'll stream it on
Comlink?
Twitch.
Okay.
Stream on Twitch. Do it here in the office. Should be fun.
Is Chris going to be part of that?
We will get Chris on the show at least. I don't know. I think he may
Okay.
be in UK that week, but if we can get him to stop by, we will.
All right. Thank you very much for announcing that. I appreciate it. All right, Ben, thank you for joining us this week. I really appreciate it. You are always you're always so amazing to answer these questions, and that's good because, Chris does it for the subscribers and we try to put it out there for everybody else.
Oh, sure. Happy to
All
try
right.
and do what I can.
All right, cool. It's good to see James back where he belongs, sitting in this chair. All right. With that said, guys, you all be safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.